You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Just what makes that silly old ant think he could move a rubber tree plant? Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but the Mets are gonna Met. They're gonna pitch to JT, even though they have history say that you should have pitched to JT, and they did it, and he gets the walk-off single to right field, and the Mets lose the series. Tree plant. Oh, my goodness gracious. Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. It's just wonderful to have you along for the ride. So many instances of the Mets just being terrible at baseball after actually being good for a while. They just choke it away. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's almost too much fun. And you know what? If it wasn't drama, if you didn't have drama in the series, if there was no drama in the series, is it even a series? No, of course not. I honestly felt like when Taylor hit the home run to go up 1-0 in the 8th inning, I went, okay, now the offense has begun. Phillies are not losing this game. There is no way, if you're getting contributions from Weston Wilson, Buddy Kennedy, last night Cal Stevenson yesterday, if you're getting contributions from those guys consistently, eventually one of the other guys is going to heat up. I mean, you had Bryce Harper doing it yesterday, and then today. Let's get something going here. You had Nick Castellanos coming up, of course. You had JT REALMUTO coming up. You had guys that were going to make something happen. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened, and the Phillies take this series, and it's a huge series to take against the Mets, a hot baseball team, as we all know, coming into this as the Philadelphia Phillies. We're a hot baseball team coming into this. You also have two pitchers that were pitching lights out for 7-8 innings worth of work. And then you also have to think about where these teams are headed next. The Phillies are going to have a battle with the Brewers. Then you have the Nationals going to Flushing, New York to take on the Mets for 3. So the Phillies needed to take care of business right now before they go to New York after the 3-game set in Milwaukee for a 4-game series with the Mets. Welcome into the show. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Appreciate you. And thank you, as always, for making Locked On Phillies Postcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your postcasts and podcasts as well. Also on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This particular episode is brought to you by the great people at Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use promo code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB to win $50 instantly when you play just $5. Not too bad. Let's start it off with 3 big things. This is another game where you just kind of group it all together. In all honesty, like there's like 1A, 1B, and 1C. So those are going to be the 3 big things. All right. The first thing that jumps to mind here is Cristopher Sanchez and how amazing he was in this game today. 11-0-2 counts against the Mets. It is as my grandmother would say, it's a sin. It's a sin he doesn't get the win today. 7+ innings of work, gives up the 1 home run to Tyrone Taylor there in the top of the 8th inning before Orion Kerkering came in and then slammed the door after that, getting the 3 outs in the inning there. But Cristopher Sanchez continuously was pounding the strike zone throughout today's game. 0-2 count after 0-2 count, he settles up, throwing 69 pitches for strikes. Of his 87 pitches, 69 of them for strikes. He allowed just 3 hits in totality in the game and was dominant. And I was really hoping he wasn't going to be the first one to crack. But unfortunately, he was the first one to crack. And watching him throughout tonight's game, one of the things that really amazed me is how well he mixed his pitches. He used his sinker really well. He used his changeup really well. Everything that he was throwing up there today was on point. And a lot of times he was leaving guys guessing. There was a couple of instances where, say, the home plate umpire expanded the strike zone a little bit for Peterson, a little bit for Sanchez, but they made sure to take advantage of that. And really throughout the game today, I mean, gives up the hit to Lindor, and I know they were making jokes about it during the broadcast today, but gives up the hit to Lindor on a diving attempt by Johan Rojas. I think he should have slid. If he would have slid, he would have had it. He went for the dive. Nah, whatever. But he gives up the leadoff hit. Then Benitez goes up there and he strikes out on a high fastball. Then Alonso strikes out looking at a high slider. And then he gets Nimmo again to strike out, this time on a slider as well. 15 pitches, 13 of them for strikes. That was setting the table for the rest of the game. And then listen to these pitch counts going throughout the game for Cristopher Sanchez. 15, 8, 10, 13. 13 again in the fifth inning. Just kept that pitch count low. 10 in the sixth, and then 8 pitches in the seventh inning. And that's with allowing a leadoff hit to Brandon Nimmo, a infield single to second base. But then you got Martinez to fly out to center. By the way, J.D. Martinez, I think, is really happy he doesn't have to play at Citizens Bank Park for the rest of the season. I think he's ecstatic that he doesn't have to play at Citizens Bank Park because center field is where his doubles and home runs go to die. Iglesias came up. He lined out to right field. The 11th. That was the 11th 0-2 count of the game for Cristopher Sanchez. And then Torres goes up there and he grounds out to Buddy Kennedy at second base as part of that 8-pitch seventh inning. He did come into trouble there in that eighth inning, unfortunately. Sanchez at 77 pitches when he went out there for the eighth inning. So you're thinking, all right, quick inning, get to the ninth. We got a complete game shutout where we're flirting with here, Cristopher Sanchez. He gives up the Taylor home run on a 2-2 count. He was actually down in that count 2-0, and then he left a slider up in the zone just a little bit for enough for Taylor to go down and get that baseball and put it 406 feet to left center field for the home run and the 1-0 lead. Then Bader came up, and he got the single, and it was time for Sanchez to get the hook as they went to Orion Kerkering. He came in the game and then retired the side after that. So that was some great stuff to see from the bullpen helping out, as well as Cristopher Sanchez throughout the entire night. 1B, all right? Cody Clemens has won a game for you. Cal Stevenson has won a game for you. Buddy Kennedy has already gotten you some insurance runs there for his first RBI, his first hit as a Philadelphia Philly. So that's pretty impressive. And then as he continues to fight on, he comes up to the plate tonight in the bottom of the eighth inning after the Phillies had already given up the run. Weston Wilson starts things off by getting that leadoff double to left center field. Then they have a little mound conference, I'm sure to buy time for Edwin Diaz to warm up. And then Buddy Kennedy steps up to the plate and gets a low slider, and he pulls it down the left field line for an RBI double that ties things up at a run apiece. I still can't get over, and I feel like I've talked about this over the last couple of weeks, the guys that are at the bottom of the order, the non-big money guys, continue to make things happen for this lineup time and time again. And again today, Weston Wilson, double. Buddy Kennedy, he comes through with the RBI double. Back-to-back doubles from Weston Wilson and Buddy Kennedy the eighth inning. And the next thing you know, you're tied up at one apiece. That's fantastic. It obviously takes Cristopher Sanchez off the hook, so there's no concern there. Love to see that. Then as things continue, oh my goodness gracious, it only gets more dramatic. Jose Ruiz comes in to pitch the top of the ninth inning. He does a fantastic job getting through that top of the ninth inning, being just 12 pitches to get through that. Martinez flies out on Nick Castellanos' great catch in foul territory, kept his pursuit. Iglesias lines out to center field, and then Winker strikes out looking at the high fastball. He argues with it and then starts arguing, or he argues with it and then gets tossed. Sets the stage then for the bottom of the ninth inning and more drama. JT REALMUTO. Now, here's the deal. In this inning, you have Harper lead off by striking out. Castellanos is batting fourth. He's batting cleanup with even with Alec Bohm back in the order. Castellanos comes up, gets a single to right field. He's standing on first base. Then Alec Bohm comes up there and he strikes out. And on the third strike of the at-bat, Castellanos takes off for second base. He successfully swipes the second base bag. But now you got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And who steps up but JT REALMUTO? This is where the Mets met. Okay? This is where the Mets met. Instead of walking JT REALMUTO with a base open, they decide to have Edwin Diaz throw against JT REALMUTO and attempt to get him out. For those that missed it, JT REALMUTO in his career versus Edwin Diaz, 385 hitter with a double, a home run, 2 runs batted in, and only 5 strikeouts. 5 for 13. And they decided, let's give it a go. Let's see how this one goes. Oh, and also just throw in there for extra funsies that Edwin Diaz has been terrible against the Phillies this year. Okay? So all those things added together, in my mind, went, this is where the Phillies win it in dramatic fashion. And sure enough, JT Realmuto delivers probably what would have been a double if it wasn't a walk-off scenario. Well, it was credited as an RBI walk-off game-winning single to JT Realmuto. Phillies get their ninth, oh my goodness, their 90th win of the season. And the Phillies shrink their magic number down to 6 against the New York Metropolitans. You love to see it. This game, just like so many other games for this Phillies team throughout their last 2 homestands, have just been more fun than the last. It has been fantastic to watch this team come together and play the brand of baseball that they've been playing. And we're talking about beating teams that could be headed to the playoffs. We're talking about playoff-bound teams. We're talking about struggling against the Marlins and then taking 2 or 3 against the New York Mets. Now they have another test in front of them. After they handled their business earlier in the season against the Milwaukee Brewers, they got to go out to Milwaukee and make sure they handle that business again. I really can't get over it. It is just so much fun to watch guys contribute that aren't making the big bucks, guys that are just trying to make a name for themselves at the big league level, prove that they are big leaguers. And for those guys to show up consistently, whether it's Buddy Kennedy, Cal Stevenson, Cody Clemens, Weston Wilson. I know he's been with the big league ball club for a while now. But to see those guys contribute at the level that they've been contributing at recently makes you think that maybe some magic is waiting for this Philadelphia Phillies ball club. When we come back, we're going to take a look at one more thing when it comes to Alec Bohm. We're going to take a look at Alec Bohm returning to the order. Also, JT Realmuto most recently coming back as well, We'll take a look at how those guys performed in tonight's game, especially when it comes to Alec Bohm and what he was able to do in his first at-bat since August 29th. I believe it was. So we'll be back in a second. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Back in a second. How incredible are the great people of FanDuel. FanDuel is an amazing time, and if you're not taking advantage of all they have to offer, oh my goodness gracious, you are missing out. You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Well, they have this amazing offer going on for you right now. Through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel any time. Just visit FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Download America's #1 sports book, and you can take advantage of amazing odds like this. Right now, for the Phillies to win the World Series, they're at plus 450. Somehow, the LA Dodgers are ahead of them at plus 330. Phillies at plus 450. The New York Yankees are at plus 480. The Astros at plus 750. The O's, the Baltimore Orioles at plus 850. And the San Diego Padres going off at plus 400. Excuse me, plus 1,400. As far as the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs right now, plus 500. This is going into today. San Francisco 49ers, plus 550. And then you also have the Detroit Lions going off at 1,100, plus 1,100, with the Philadelphia Eagles right there, as well as the Buffalo Bills at plus 1,100. That's what it looks like right now on FanDuel. So visit FanDuel.com and take advantage of all they have to offer. That's FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. And as I said at the top of the show, thank you for making Locked On Sports Philadelphia your first listen every day. As for your second listen, enjoy Locked On MLB podcast. Host Paul Sully Sullivan is here daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alec Bohm did return. He had 2 hits in his rehab assignment last night, so Phillies said, hey, you know what? Why waste any more time? Let's get Alec Bohm back in the order, and that's exactly what they did today. And wouldn't you know it, Alec Bohm steps up to the plate in his first at-bat back, and he stepped up there in the second inning with 1 out after Nick Castellanos grounded out to second base. He got a ground ball with eyes up the middle for a single to center field, and he was able to get on base that way. Phillies, unfortunately, not able to use it. But I thought for the most part, he looked comfortable, looked very comfortable in today's game. One guy that has been on the mend but not missing time has been Bryce Harper. Now, we noticed, and I highlighted already, JT Realmuto's walk-off RBI, and we see him getting stronger and stronger since he's come back from missing a couple days. A guy that continues to look like, at least health-wise, he's been struggling despite the 2 home runs yesterday, a guy that I feel like most people watch in Bryce Harper and just wait for that wince. Didn't have the best swings in today's game. And look, it's hard to argue against him playing because he is still extremely productive. And yesterday, of course, he has 2 home runs in the game yesterday. Without those 2 home runs, you don't win that game. And then you're already in the dumps even playing this game today because you've already lost the series to the Mets. But he hits those 2 home runs. The Phillies needed the 2 home runs yesterday. He delivered. You see Bryce Harper, and there's a couple of instances today where I saw him again laying off some of those pitches that were out of the zone away. And that was a sign to me yesterday in his last at bat that maybe he's still feeling that elbow. And it's nothing that is going to go away anytime soon, unfortunately. But he finds ways. Now, today's the exception, of course. He was able, I think, to work a walk in today's game, did not get a hit. He was 0 for 3. But he's going to continue to find ways to help this team win, whether it's trying to make a good play at first base, especially when there was some struggles in the very rare occurrence. There were some struggles in tonight's game for Cristopher Sanchez or anyone out of the bullpen. He found ways to help you. If the power numbers do come back, which is a tall order this point in the season, I know the 2 home runs yesterday. I'm not just pushing it away, but I'm hoping this starts to become the norm where you can count on him for a couple, 2 home runs a week, something like that, as opposed to no home runs for 30 days. If the power really is back, it has come in bunches for Bryce Harper, similar to the way it has for Kyle Schwarber even, where the power comes in bunches. I'm hoping that just wasn't a flash in the pan, a freak fluke of a 2-homer game, that somehow, some way, Bryce Harper is going to be able to find some consistency with this power that we know he has had throughout his career, and we hope the Phillies will have for the rest of September and into October, forever, for however long this season will go for the Phillies. The biggest thing that I'm just absolutely excited about for this Phillies team, though, goes to those guys not named Bryce Harper, not named Nick Castellanos, not named Kyle Schwarber. Because when you think about the magic that can happen in October, and especially towards the end of a season like right now, you think about those guys stepping up. When some of your bigger stars, whether it's JT Realmuto or it's Alec Boehm just coming back, or it's Kyle Schwarber having an elbow issue, no matter who it is, you're going to need all 9 guys playing that day to do something, to be guys you could depend on to do something special to help you win a ball game. And that's what you've been seeing as of late. Make no mistake about it. I watch this Mets team and I look at a team that is playing some great baseball, and they have an opportunity to get right back on the wagon and go out there against the Washington Nationals at home and have 3 get-right games before facing the Phillies again. Meanwhile, the Phillies have to face a team that is a contender there in the Milwaukee Brewers for the playoffs, obviously, for the division, as they know, for a team that you have been able to take care of earlier in the season. Treat this as a business trip. Don't do what you've done on the road a lot of the times, which is play down to the opponent. Keep on winning. Just keep on winning. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what you guys have to say about this particular win for the Phils tonight. There was one thing I wanted to make sure I got in here regarding Cristopher Sanchez and Bryce Harper. It was that 8th inning. It was the 8th inning, yeah. Phillies were in a tough spot there. At that point, it was Orion Kerkering in the game. Bader had the single after the Taylor home run, 1-0. Sanchez goes out. Kerkering comes in. He strikes out Acuna on the sweeper. Vientos strikes out on the sinker, middle of the plate, looking at it. And then Alonso goes up there and gets the infield single. I think that was the one that just kind of tipped off of Bryce Harper's mitt. And there was no play at first base. Kerkering might have been a little late getting over there, but I don't think they would have gotten Alonso anyway. So you have a 1st and 3rd 2-out situation. And this is where Bryce Harper helped you out without a home run. He smothered that sharply hit ground ball down the first baseline. He looked more like a hockey goalie than he did a first baseman. Smothered that ball that if it gets by him, another run scores, obviously, and maybe you have a runner on second and third with two outs. He smothered that ball playing first and got you the final out of that inning. So that was one of the highlight with Harper. Came in the 8th inning on the Nimmo sharply hit ground ball to first base. When we come back, we'll take a look at what you guys have to say about this win for the Phils and what you think about where the Phillies are headed after this one. You have confidence they'll win another series when they head to Milwaukee. We'll talk about it in a second. You're Locked On Phillies postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Prize Picks. Have you guys downloaded Prize Picks yet? Prize Picks is a great time. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest, most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. And all you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half of a football game, let's say, and doesn't return, with Prize Picks, you know what? You're still live. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast and safe and secure. When my picks hit, I get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So look at that, thanks to Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even have to win to receive the 50 bonus bucks. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game with Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. All right, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what you guys had to say about this Phillies victory today. Evelyn, hello. Oh, yeah. Respect to both starters. Fantastic pitching. Thank you, Buddy Kennedy, Nick, and JT. Yeah, should we just call him Buddy? Like, I know in the graphic there, I it's Kennedy, but I mean, he's just Buddy to us, right? He's just Buddy. You know, he's Don Money's grandson. Don Money's baby boy. Baby, great. Well, baby son, whatever. Speaking of babies, oh, baby, another miracle finish. Looks like we're destined. Ooh. IBH, let's get that going. A team of destiny. The Phillies are a team of destiny. Brandon Kelly, where were you when Castellanos stolen base saved the season? Brandon, that's great. Where were you when Nick Castellanos? Oh, wait, hold on. What is that for him? What is that for Nick Castellanos? He can't have too many stolen bases on the year. 6. He's got 6 stolen bases now on the season. That is awesome. And yes, Harper did work a walk. I was questioning that earlier. Yeah, he did work a walk. So that's pretty great. IBH, absolutely not old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Not good for my heart, though. Yeah. Frank Garage, I got to take this off. I don't know why I keep this watch on. Frank, how you doing? Phillies win as a bonus. How about Dallas getting blown out today? That was a good time. Did they get 50? The Saints put up 50? Or did they only get to like 48? I think the last thing I saw was like 48 points. Oh, that's worth 44. Okay. 44-19. Womp. Dak Prescott 2 picks. That's a shame. Johnson Wall, hello. What a start from Sanchez. Our platoon guys have been stepping up lately. JT owns Diaz, and we own the Mets. Go Phils. Existentialism Tyrant, hello. Different hero, new every day. Great pitching and bullpen, timely hitting. Go Phils. IBH with a thumbs up. Goose. Hello, Goose. Man, do I feel bad. I went to the Friday game and not the 2 other ones. Goose. That's where you got to duck. You know what I'm saying? That's where you got to duck. Dallas are frauds. Well, that's always welcomed here. Thank you. Morgan Landy, can't wait till we end the Mets season next weekend. This is pretty great. So the Mets now. Wait, that can't be right. Hold on, let me. Beep-o bop. Hit the old refresh on the old button over there. 8.5 games behind the Phils. 9 games behind the Phils. Half game behind the Bravos. And the Braves Beep, bop, 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 bop. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. All right. Come on. Big bucks, no whammies. 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, they play at night. They play at night. Dodgers and Braves go off tonight at 7 o'clock in Atlanta. So let's have ourselves some fun with that. Michael Evans, how do they keep doing this? Nothing the whole game, and then they just explode and just enough to win. I don't know how they keep doing it, but I'm happy. Look, don't get me wrong. I would love a 10-0 win. I would love a 10-0 win. 10-0 wins are awesome. But, I mean, you have a guy in Peterson who goes out there and had been pitching great. I mean, as great as Cristopher Sanchez was, I think it was Scott Fransky that used the line during the broadcast, dueling shutouts. I mean, that's what you had going on into the 8th inning. And I'm telling you, when you got the solo home run from Taylor in the top of the 8th inning, my first thought was, okay, and begin. Now we start. I was like, this is where the offense starts. I had every bit of confidence that the Phillies were going to score. Maybe not in the 8th inning, but they were going to get a run across the plate in either the bottom of the 8th or the bottom of the 9th. And then we're going to go to extras. I really did not want to see this team go to extras today. Because, like, look, I never want to see a team go to extras. I know we can all talk about free baseball and ha, but in all seriousness, I just wanted them to win this game. And I wanted them to beat the Mets. When you get into when you get in extras, both teams, of course, have a runner on second base, as we all know. And it kind of feels more like a shootout mentality. Like, all right, let's get the game over with a winner and nobody gets hurt. That kind of thing. So to see them go out there and win this game in the bottom of the 9th and JT get that hit, beyond clutch. Because, again, anything can happen in the extra innings. Mark, 1982, hello. Farzy Bayless show. Farzy Bayless, like Skip Bayless, is top knock. Run and panic, everyone. I'm not the panic guy, but okay. Biggest clutch move was Nick Afterburners taking second so JT could bring him home. That was pretty awesome. Cody, Cal, Weston, Buddy, love these guys. They're helping us win. Bonnie Watson. Hi, Bonnie. Wow, Nick does it again, stealing second to score off our great JT. How about that? Can't believe they pitched to JT. Neither can I. Bonnie. And how about Buddy? Major kudos. Mark, 1982. Farzy might be the dumbest POS to ever cover a sports team. Thanks for joining the program. I don't know what I did to you, but all right. Michael Evans. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but go Braves tonight. Hell yeah, go Braves. It is, IBH. It's the Phillies' 10th walk-off win of the season. Jacob Tyler, that was so freaking awesome. Magic number is now down to 6, says Lisa Wicks. Yeah, JT Realmuto, Jacob Tyler. Faxi, what's going on? Castellanos has appeared in more games than any other Philly this year so far, a team with baseball's best record. Love to see it. Rogers pointed out the magic number being 6. Bam Man 100 had to check out my window to make sure there weren't any pigs in the sky when Nick managed to steal. Wait, hold on a second. Bonnie Watson. Cats T. Anos. Anyos? Getting totally weird now. Cats T. Anos. Castellanos. What are we doing here? Were you pronouncing the L's like he's Greek? Because that's what I did when he first came up with the Tigers many years ago. But he's not Greek. He's a Latino. Jason Wicks. Oh, I'm sorry. Robert. What's going on, Robert? This team always has somebody step up. Somebody steps up every day. I love it. Go Fightins. How about this? Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful, as per usual. As I've mentioned, tough road ahead for the Phillies when it comes to their next 3 games, and then another big 4-game series coming up against the New York Mets in Flushing, New York. They got 3 coming up here against the Brewers in Milwaukee. That's what's going down. Phillies are going to look to stay the course and continue their dominant baseball, at least Hey, look, at this point of the season, I hate the phrase finding ways to win. The Eagles ruined that for me last year. But this Phillies team finding ways to win right now at this point of the year, absolutely. Now, here's what the Phillies got coming up. 90 wins on the season. They're at it tomorrow night. They're right back at it tomorrow night. I feel like they have a long stretch here without any days off. Excuse me. Tomorrow night, 7:40. All 3 games in Milwaukee against the Brewers are at 7:40. Suarez will get the start, then Wheeler, then Nola. Let's cross our fingers that Ranger Suarez returns to Ranger Suarez form. Let's cross our fingers and really hope that this is them getting back. Them getting back the regular Ranger Suarez that we've known and loved through most of the year. So the Phillies got 3 against the Brewers in Milwaukee, 4 in New York against the Mets, then 3 against the Cubs in Philly, and then they wrap up the season September 27th through the 29th against the Washington Nationals down in D.C. Let's make it so that does not matter, that final series of the season doesn't matter, and everyone can rest. Bryce Harper can, ice his elbow and his wrist and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. That's like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow night following the Phillies win, ? Over the Brewers. See you guys then. Bye.